Hey guys, quick video here for maybe a few of you right now, or if that's not the case and you are perfectly fine, this probably could help you at some point in the future, because the reality is that we all go through this kind of experience at some part of our life, and we've already done that and we will already have to do it again. I can pretty much guarantee, because life isn't always working, it isn't always fun, it isn't always going the way that you want it, and that ultimately has a massive impact on your health, your fitness, your exercise routine, and the way that you choose to eat. Whether you want to do it that way or not, sometimes things just take over. The truth is, and you have to accept this, that actually it's okay to not be okay sometimes. You have to accept that if things are going the wrong way, you're struggling, that's just the way it is at that moment in time, but that will pass. It's perfectly okay to be struggling. What people tend to do is that they're not honest with it, they don't admit it, and they don't ask for help, and they try and do it on their own. And unfortunately, when you're in that mindset, you cannot get out of it on your own normally, typically, unless you've gone through that a lot and you kind of know what to do. We always need some sort of help, a person, a friend, a partner, a loved one, or quite simply, this free group. Okay, that's ultimately what this has been set up to do. You can't control everything. Things just happen. Let's say you lose your job, or you've had a bad day at work, and your boss isn't happy with you. That affects the way you are. Maybe stuff's going on at home. In your family life, or just like friendships, relationships, that's a big one. All these things kind of change our state, change the way we think, and the way we think is how we ultimately make our decisions, and our decisions are how we end up with how we look, and then again feel, in terms of, have I been to the gym? Have I eaten the way I want to eat today? I can't believe that I keep eating crap. What's going on? It's just ultimately the way you are feeling at the moment. But what happens is that people, let's say they do choose into eating, foods that they know aren't good for them, and they stop going to the gym because they're stressed, and then they still end up jumping on the scales, and they're like, oh my god, I've put on weight, and it's all going to pot, I'm going backwards, I'm going to be back to where I started off. And that's never really the case, because if you have been consistent with your approach, your training, your exercise, your nutrition, your lifestyle, whatever the case may be, you have already raised your standards. So what I mean by that is, when things do start to go a little bit south, they go wrong, and you get back on it, you start again, you are never back at the beginning where you used to be. Your new beginning is higher, it's further up the pitch, further up the track, and it doesn't take you as long to get back to where you were. So don't forget that, and this is what a lot of people do. I even do it myself sometimes. When things are going wrong, we think, oh my god, I'm starting from scratch, but you never are. You're starting from your new scratch, your new beginning. The starting line is ahead on the track. You're almost having this jump start. So just, remember that. And when, you get into this situation, you just got to simply go, right, we've got to keep this simple. Again, you can't control things that you can't control. If stuff's going on, it's going to be tricky. But what you can do is control what you can control, and that's the basics. And if we're talking nutrition, am I drinking the water levels that I used to do? Because that might just sound like a really ridiculous simple thing, but there's a reason why it's number one. If you're not drinking water, you're dehydrated. Okay, if you're dehydrated, you're ultimately not making the best decisions that you could be doing, and that put on top of the fact that the way you're already feeling is only going to make things worse. But you can like put a stop to that and go, right, that's not who I want to be. This is who I want to try and get back to be. I want to aspire to be and who I used to be, a few weeks ago. So get back to drinking water, keep things simple with the food. Am I eating my protein? Am I eating, more regularly? What are my food cravings like? Am I getting my head out of the fridge? Am I not eating crisps and chocolate and all those things that kind of make us feel a little bit better temporarily when we're in the shit? But ultimately it's moving us further away from where we want to be and widening the gap. And as I mention a lot, the wider the gap, the harder it is to close the gap. Okay, so start with the basics and use accountability. Okay, when you're struggling, it's really, really hard to do things on your own because it's almost like you've got this ball and chain around your ankle. You know what to do, you know how to move forward, but for some reason you're just not doing it. You can't do it. Your mindset's not in the right frame of mind. You need some kind of help. So accountability really works, with this. Again, that's a friend, a partner, someone you can trust. This group, again, as I say it, but ultimately it's someone who has a bit of compassion for where you are, because it's not their responsibility to understand what you're going through, okay? But as long as they're willing to listen, it's the most powerful thing someone can use. So if you've got someone to talk to, use them, as long as they're going to listen and not tell you what to do, because that isn't the answer at the moment. You know what to do, but by them telling you what to do is almost going to push you backwards. So you just need someone to listen to, and almost call it a rant, getting shit out of your head. But when you start to create more space in your head, you can start put the new things, the good things in, the things that you already know back into place, and things just start to fall into where you want them, and you're moving forward again. Okay, so that's a really good thing. And from a mindset perspective, you're going to be going through this situation where you're thinking all negatively, because if there's stuff going on in your life, that's going to happen. We're human beings, we've got emotions. Unfortunately, that's a good and a bad thing. So just question those thoughts. If you get some kind of negative thought in your head that I can't do this, or I don't want to eat that, or this this is a struggle, just question, is that really the truth? What else could it be? And then other than that, just remember, as I said at the beginning, it's okay to actually feel a little bit shit. Life kind of takes over, but we can do something about it. And I'll finish with this, that to keep it simple, that we kind of have like two wolves in our head, a good one and a bad one. Now, as long as we feed the good one more than we feed the bad one, you'll be okay. You'll move forward. Right, I'll speak to you soon. Take care.